Hey, what's up everyone? So in today's video, we're gonna be shooting a coffee ad using some really modest gear. So I'm gonna take you through the process of how I approach a video like this, as well as showing you what gear I used, and then how I finish it all up. But before we go any further, I do wanna thank the sponsor of today's video, which is Third Wave Coffee. Yeah, I have a coffee company sponsoring one of my YouTube videos. That's pretty awesome. I think that one of the unsung heroes for us content creators and video editors is the thing that keeps us fueled during those really long editing days. And for me, that's a good cup of coffee. Third Wave is a specialty coffee roaster that has a bunch of different roasts available on their website. They sent me both a washed and natural Colombian, and they both taste delicious. And what's really cool is that if you go to their website and use the code Nigel25, you'll get a 25% discount on your order. So definitely go check them out and support a company that supports creators like me. Once again, big thanks to Third Wave Coffee for sponsoring this video. So before we actually start shooting this little coffee spec ad, we're gonna wanna come up with a look for this video first. Something that I've made the mistake of doing in the past is shooting something with a certain look that's inconsistent with the branding that the company has already established. So looking at Third Wave's website and their Instagram, I can tell that they have a very bright and clean look to their brand. So I definitely don't want to shoot anything that's too dark or moody. So I'm going to keep the colors neutral. I'm going to try to shoot as brightly as I can. So I'm not going to incorporate any dark colors or do any super low key shots. So now let's talk gear. So I wanted to purposefully shoot this video on gear that wasn't gonna be out of reach for most of you. So for the camera, I went with my trusty Panasonic GX85. This is a great little micro four thirds camera. It's got 4K 24p. It doesn't have a anti-aliasing filter, so the images are really sharp. It doesn't do any crazy slow-mos. It can do 60p at 1080, which I did use a couple of times. But for the most part, I just shot this in 4K 24p, and this has really great image stabilization too. So I was able to do a lot of really nice, smooth handheld shots without the use of any gimbals or rigs or stabilizers. And for the lens, I chose this TT Artisan 17mm f1.4, which I've talked a little bit about in this video if you want to go check that out. But this is a great little lens. It'll give you about a 38mm equivalent field of view on a micro four thirds camera. And the 38mm field of view was great for this video. It was just wide enough that I could get everything that I need to in frame, but not too wide to where it's going to distort the image or get things in the shot that I didn't want to see. So I also had my overhead arm, which I used to get those top-down shots, and this really cheap $50 camera slider. For lighting, what was really nice is I had this really big glass door that let in a bunch of natural light. And so I only pulled out my Godox ML60 like once during that shoot. I also used the diffusion from a 5-in-1 reflector just to diffuse that natural light coming in. And then I had a little DIY piece of negative fill when I wanted to block some of the reflections. So I knew that this was only gonna be a 30-second ad, so I wasn't gonna film every single aspect of brewing a cup of coffee, just the important parts. Big thanks to my buddy Westy, who was the on-screen talent for this video, and he's also kind of a coffee expert, so he knew what he was doing. So I actually shot in the Cinelike V profile for this video, just because I knew that I was going to be dealing with natural light that may be going in and out, and sometimes when I'm shooting with a flatter profile, it can be a little bit harder to judge exposure. And since I knew I wasn't going to be doing any super heavy grading on this video, Cinelike V was actually a great profile because it gave me really nice colors, but it didn't flatten the image out too much, so I could always very easily judge my exposure. This 17mm lens by TT Artisan actually came in pretty clutch. With that 38mm equivalent field of view, this was a perfect focal length for this type of video. And although it does shoot at f1.4, I mostly shot at about f2 to f2.8, just because it's not the sharpest at f1.4, so I wanted to keep this video looking really nice and crisp. But what I think attributed most to the overall look of this video was actually the set design and that really big glass door. My kitchen doesn't normally look like that. I kind of set it up so that it looked a little bit more pleasing, and that big glass door let in a bunch of natural light. So it gave a very pleasing look to the video because that big glass door basically acted like a huge key light source that was just blasting in, and we shot it at the perfect time of day to where the sun wasn't coming in insanely harshly, but there was just enough natural light to give us a really nice, soft key light to the video. So when it came to editing this video, I knew that audio was going to play a huge part in how this video actually turned out. So first thing I did was try to find the song that I wanted to use, and the site that I use for my music and that I'm actually an ambassador for is MusicBed. So MusicBed has an enormous library of some of the best music that you'll find for your YouTube videos. So it was really easy for me to find a song that I liked. And then another big aspect was the sound effects. I needed to make sure that you could hear everything that was going on so that it complemented the visuals and the music as well. Although you can spend an entire day shooting things, a lot of the times you're gonna have to cut out a lot of the things that you shoot. I had to pick out the parts that were actually going to make sense to be in the video. And even if there were some shots that I was really proud of that maybe took a while to actually get, if they didn't actually make sense to be in the video, or if I just needed to trim some of the fat, I think that it's actually a good practice to just learn how to let go of some shots, even though you spent a really long time trying to get them. Anyways, that's how I shot a little coffee commercial with some really modest gear. Again, I shot it with a camera that's about $300, a lens that's like $100 to $140. If I can do it with this, chances are you have a camera that's way better than this little GX85. So I want to encourage you to go out and just, try making a spec ad, try creating something with the gear that you have now and see what you come up with. Anyways, thank you so much for checking out this video. I had a lot of fun making it, and I want to say another big thanks to Third Wave Coffee for sponsoring this video. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, it'd be really cool if you hit the like button. If you enjoy my content, then please subscribe. And as always, if you'd like to check out some more of my videos, you can click on either side of my face. Thanks again for stopping by, and I'll catch you all next time. Later.